The Sisters of Silence were the anti-psychic militant arm of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica during the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy. They were an all-female order in much the same way as the Sisters of Battle. They were tasked with the apprehension of untrained psychers, whose abilities sometimes manifested in ways that could be very dangerous to their fellow human beings, particularly if they became hosts for the foul entities of the warp. They operated the Adeptus Astra Telepathica's infamous Black Ships, which roamed the galaxy following behind the Great Crusade's expeditionary fleets in search of rogue psychers to capture or expunge, seeking to collect and carry them back to Terra, where they would be tested and their eventual fate decided. Though few in number, the Sisters of Silence commanded great respect within the Imperium, and most servants of the Emperor regarded them with awe. Few would willingly stand in the way or interfere with their activities, and few indeed were those who were comfortable in their presence. They were well-trained warriors, and with the added benefit of their anti-psychic abilities, they were dangerous opponents for any of the enemies of mankind. Unlike other living beings, these women sworn to silence possessed no presence in the warp, and were therefore unaffected by psychic powers. There were many names for them in the multitude of human cultures to be found across the galaxy: untouchables, pariahs, blanks. All of the members of the Order were non-psychic, for they bore the pariah gene, which made them immune to all forms of psychic assault and their minds unreadable by telepathy. These bearers of the pariah gene possessed the innate ability to disrupt psychic abilities. Their mere presence was intolerable to the psychers, for they become visibly uncomfortable within their company. Close proximity or intimate contact with pariahs would cause a psyker great pain. This made it ideal for the Sisters to serve as Imperial witch hunters, identifying psychers secretly hidden amongst normal human populations, as well as discovering those as yet unaware of their own innate abilities. The Sisters were also authorized to destroy any psychers they deemed too dangerous to capture and send back to Terra for testing. The Sisters of Silence participated in many of the major actions of the Horus Heresy, including the defense of the Imperial Palace. They were perhaps most successful during their assault on Prospero, where a force of Sisters were deployed to provide specialized support for the attacking Space Wolves Legion. Due to their untouchable nature, the Sisters were proof against the psychic attacks of the defending Thousand Suns Legion, and provided a stable bulwark for the assault to be anchored upon. The Sisters of Silence were also vital in preventing Terra from being overrun by demons during the war within the Webway, where the pariah gene became a boon fighting the demons. And yet, in the 41st millennium, the Sisters of Silence are not referred or referenced anywhere at all, their fate remaining unknown. So what happened to these warriors? One possibility is that they are still fighting the demons attempting to pour through the damaged Webway portal within the Imperial Palace. Since their pariah gene makes them immune to psychic abilities, and demons themselves are effectively comprised of psychic energy, they could essentially be waging an eternal war to protect mankind's future. Another possibility is that the Sisters of Silence were wiped out completely during the Siege of Terra. Considering how bloody the battle was, and how it resulted in the death of not only 2 Primarchs, but also the mortal wounding of the Emperor himself, this is certainly a possibility. It could also be possible that the surviving Sisters of Silence could have been folded into the newly formed Inquisition, more specifically the Ordo Hereticus, the branch of the Inquisition formed to deal with rogue psychers, heretics and mutants, the pariah gene being extremely useful when hunting down witches. But it seems likely that the Order is still around today, albeit in a more subdued role. As stated earlier, the Sisters of Silence were responsible for the running of the Black Ships, which were used to collect dangerous and untrained psychers. These Black Ships are still circulating throughout the Imperium today, and so it seems likely that after the Siege of Terra, at least a portion of the Order survived, and have been assigned to collect psychers to feed the Golden Throne, and thus keep the Emperor alive rather to actively fight in wars. After all, it would be the most logical course of action to send beings immune to a psyker's abilities to collect them for processing than it would a non-pariah. And considering how inept the High Lords of Terra have been in the past, even they couldn't deny the uses of the Sisters of Silence in this regard. Thanks for watching.